The next thing y'all need to do when you install a fuel pump, always crank the vehicle first while the tank is on the ground. I like to crank the vehicle up, crank it up to make sure I don't have no gas line leaks or none of that stuff. That's one thing I like to do before I put it back together. Because you don't want to put this thing back together and then you got to drop that tank again and go all over and take that tank back down and go through the same process. Again, find out you got some kind of leaks or something going on here. So I recommend always check and see you got any gas leaks and stuff before you install that tank back up. Alright, so let's crank her up. Always crank the vehicle. This is what I do anyway. Watch this. There you go. Make sure she run. Check for gas leaks and all that stuff before you install that tank back up. As you can see, it's running smoothly. There's no leaks. See here? There's no leaks nowhere. So that tells me I'm good to go. Rush the motor a little bit. Let it smooth out. Put pressure on it. Make sure you ain't got no gas leaks. Okay. Alright, now come back here. Just make sure you don't have no gas leaks. As you can see, I don't have any. So that tells me I'm good to go. So I can go ahead and install the fuel tank back up. Always crank it up. Check for gas leaks. Always. Make sure you got everything intact before you put it back together. And as you can see, I have no gas leaks. She running sound. Okay, she runs smooth. Now I know I have no gas leaks. So now I can go ahead on, install the fuel tank back up on the vehicle. Alright, so she ready. She ready to go. So that's what I always do. That's the method I always use. I crank them up while they're on the ground. Check for gas leaks. Because like I said, you would hate to get this thing back together and find out you got some pipes and all that stuff leaking, then you got to drop the tank all over again. Always test them on the ground first. That's the method I've been using for the last 20 years. I check them while they're on the ground. Crank them up. Let them run. Make sure you ain't got no gas line leaks. Alright, because it's a pain in the butt. After you install that tank, then you got to pull all that stuff back down because you got a gas line leak. That's crazy. Alright, just throwing out a little tip, man. She running good. Till next time, man, use this method. And all the tools I used to do this job was a Dollar Tree screwdriver, handy dandy hammer, that's just in case, and basically a couple of stanchions, and a 12mm socket, and a standard ratchet, and just a handy dandy pair of pliers that I had around. That's all I used to do this job with. So it's easy. Alright, just a handy dandy Dollar Tree screwdriver, pair of pliers, handy dandy hammer, a 12mm socket with a regular size ratchet, and two extensions. Alright, done deal. Always crank them up before you install that tank back up. You'll thank me later, because you got a gas line leak. You got to take the daggone tank back down again to fix that. Just tips. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.